Hello, everybody. I am Sally Arkell Bowles, and welcome to this event. We've just had a little glitch, so we're just getting Bill back on. So please bear with us for just a moment. He is on his way. So let me just make sure that he's got the right links. We had a glitch, so let me just respond to him. Well, we're going to be talking today about some amazing things. So if you are here right now, please put in the comments that you are here and where you're calling in from, because this is going to be an amazing 3-part series that Bill Wacker and myself are doing over the next 3 weeks. So we'll be on Wednesdays and we'll post up the times for each one. But I wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to get into this event and share some time with us. So as Bill is coming back in, unfortunately, I had a little bit of a glitch getting on board, so he should be with us anytime soon. So just bear with us as we're getting through this. So I have a question for you if you are just joining us or if you're listening to this recording. But I wanted to just ask you, what is it that is your biggest opportunity? Hi, Inlay. Thank you for coming from Los Angeles, and Jim in from Wickenburg. And here is Bill coming into the studio now. So there you are. Thanks, Bill.
Sorry about the snafus.
I know. I apologize for what we had happen, but we are live now. We've got a few people, as you can see in the chat box, that have joined us. So I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right. Inlay is calling from Los Angeles, Jim from Wickenburg, Arizona. So welcome everybody. And why don't you pop in if you're joining us now, where you're from, so that we know where you're from. But one of the things, Bill, I was starting off with was to just ask people, what is one of the opportunities that you're finding in your business? Is it in the sales? Is it in do you have a team that you're managing? What is it that you're looking to gain from this event today? Because I am so excited to have Bill Wacker with us. Now, Bill and I are going to be doing, as I said before, oh, thank you. I'm glad I pronounced that correctly. Bill and I have had a lot of conversations over the last few months. And one of the things that has really come forward for me when working with Bill is to understand how his journey has created his success where he is today, and how it's opened him up to new possibilities in not only his own personal and business life, but for serving others. And so I'll just introduce myself quickly, and then I'll ask Bill to introduce himself. So my name is Sally Arkell Bowles, and I'm a strategic mindset and business coach for women that are over 50. And so I really work with women and helping them to really reignite that passion, that purpose, and the joy that they have. And one of the things that I have recognized is that all of us go through cycles in our lives. And there's certain things that we do because, as women, we're raising our children, we're having our jobs, we're looking after the household, we're getting married, all of those things. And we get to a certain stage where we're like, oh, is this all there is to life now? Kids are grown, they've moved out. I'm wondering what else is next. And I made a change a number of years ago, about 5 years ago, leaving the corporate world and stepping into my passion. And Bill is doing the same today. So Bill, tell us a little bit about your journey and then what you're doing today and why we're here today.
Sally, first of all, I want to say thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. Recognize Jim and Emily in the chat, and thanks for joining as well. You're right when you say it's been a journey, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the journey. So I am originally from Indiana and went to Ball State University both for undergrad and master's, and focused on communications. I really was a broadcaster at the beginning, but then moved more into telecom and processing and such. And that led me to a 30-plus career sales and IT, predominantly with IBM, and most of it in Cleveland now. Went to Seattle for about a 7-year stint. But it's 30 years in sales. But what I learned throughout, the sales process is I really enjoyed helping others. I care about others, want to see others happy. And, throughout this whole journey, that's what kind of has really come to up the last 2 months of what I want to do, going forward. I've met just over the past year and a half, met and you among them of just an amazing amount of people, just quality, great people in this process.
Excellent. And I know, from our conversations, one of the things that you may not know about Bill, because, he's a pretty humble guy, is that he was an incredible salesperson within the tech industry. So not only was he making some of the largest sales within the organization, he had been there for a long time and was mentoring other people. And so when I met Bill, we were digging down into what would be something that would be his passion and where would he really be able to serve people most effectively and with, bring forward the success in them in a way that would be impactful. And so I see Anili is looking for some sales tips today, which is, so you're in the right spot. So if anybody else is joining us, just pop in the chat any questions that you might have along the way, because we want to make sure we're also answering your questions. So now, Bill, your company is called Safe Harbor Counseling, and it's, for you, it's not just about reaching the targets that you're shooting for. It's also about, during that process, navigating those complexities. So I've been in sales organizations and leading sales organizations my whole career as well. And I know you have as well. So what are some of the things that you've seen that are the common challenges that pop up for people in navigating the life's complexities along with their careers? Because sales is a pretty demanding job.
Yeah. So you and I talked about this about 2.5 months ago, and it was one of those things that kind of hit me over the head because of what I've experienced. There are a lot of sales coaches and life coaches out there, a lot of great sales and life coaches. And what am I going to bring to the table that's a bit different? So I will, obviously coach in sales, and it's all about, identifying, the challenges of each particular person. But the client set I'm actually really trying to reach is the client set is similar to myself. What I mean by that is someone that has kind of experienced a lot of life's challenges. I've been at the very top of the sales game, and I've been at the very, at the bottom of the sales game. I've had great wonderful years, like life-changing years, and then some years that's successful. But what also happened as part of this journey is I struggled mightily with mental health issues, which were alcohol, which led to having difficulties in marriage, relationships, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. There are thousands of people like me out there that have had similar struggles, and they can go to the hospital, they can get counseling, they can go to organizations that can help them, but it doesn't work for everybody that way. And what I've found is sometimes you just need somebody to really talk to navigate through these life's complexities, that gets what you're doing, that gets that you have to travel all the time. You have so much time away from home. You're missing kids' events. It causes anxiety. It causes you to be sad. And I went through all that. And unfortunately, it came from some genetics that led to alcohol abuse. And I want people to know that it doesn't have to be that way, and that they can be coaching as well as somebody that gets what's going on with them, offer other solutions that that will help them, that there's hope, that there is a better life out there, that you can be happy, and I can help you get there because I've been through it. And I still go through challenges, obviously, but I know with the people I have in my life and the tools that I have in my toolkit that I can certainly help them. So that I kicked off this. It really comes from a place of caring and wanting to see people happy and not go through what I went through, Sally.
Yeah, and I think in the sales industry, I mean, I was in a number of different sales leadership roles in insurance and investments and tech sales, etc. And what I discovered was that there's a lot of ups and downs for a salesperson. You can have a real big high because you've landed a big contract, or everything seems to be going well for 6 months, and all of a sudden, boom, sales drop off, or something happens and that client decides to change businesses, etc. And so, just as an emotional perspective for individuals in sales, I witnessed it myself on what was going on with the people that were on my team. And some were able to manage through it, appeared they could manage through it with ease. Some had really big egos. And so that ended up being, a little bit narcissistic at times within the organization. And others were, heads down, just doing their thing. And others were behind a closed door, scared to do anything, scared about when that next paycheck was coming in, scared about how they were going to contact and pick up one more cold call. All of those things are real things within the sales industry. But yet, most sales coaches don't understand that ebb and flow because they want everybody just to be on the upward swing, right? That's what we're wanting them to be. We want them to have that increased sales. There's a lot of pressure. Once you become strong in sales, they want more from you. They want more from you. They want more from you. So when you're in that sales industry and you're experiencing those emotions from, the stress from the pressure at work, plus the ups and downs of that organization, what are some of the strategies that you can apply within an organization or for individuals to help them in navigating those ups and downs and those emotional highs and lows that happen within the organizations?
I think there's a few things you can do. I think obviously planning is something that's important, and really mapping out what you're trying to accomplish. If you're having some difficulty, I've always been a firm believer, and it's going to be part of my curriculum, 80-20 rule. Really focus your efforts on where you're going to have success, and try to farm out or set aside, that other 80% that's not really going to do much for you. As far as the challenges and that you go through from a life basis, I have to say, Sally, meditation is one of the greatest gifts ever. It really is. And people get kind of intimidated by it because they think it's boring and they can't do it and their mind's too busy. But I certainly can teach them ways to get around that. Like I said, positive intelligence is going to be part of my curriculum, and that is certainly something that has really changed my life. And it really keeps what I deem the saboteurs at bay, the negative thoughts, the judgment, the victim stuff. When you're a salesperson, oh my God, my quota's too big. Oh my God, I don't have a good client set. That's all negative stuff in your head that, with some, discussion, we can certainly eliminate and help minimize. It's going to be there, but you have to, if you can minimize it and focus on, that energy, being positive going forward. That's what I have done, and that's what I'm teaching. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if there's anybody on the call today, and welcome, Andrew, thank you for joining us. If there's anyone that has questions about that, or if you've experienced things like we've been talking about, pop it in the chat so that other people know that this is common, right? It's common to have your ebbs and flows in your sale. It's common to have some ups and downs. Typically in higher end sales, you're 100% commission, and that's how you're going to make your money. And sometimes there's residuals that you've made from previous business, but not always. And it often takes time to build up those residuals for a lot of people. So I'm not trying to say that sales is a horrible game. I just know that there's a lot of struggle in there. And it can lead to a lot of people having mental health issues, having family issues, because we don't want to go home to our partner and tell them we didn't make any money this month, or that we just lost this big deal that we've been talking about all month, that we thought we were going to be able to get. Those are really hard conversations to have in a relationship. So as we're going through today, I want you to think about those types of things. And Bill, what are some of the tips that you have for someone that's in sales on being able to not only focus on, the excitement of getting the new sale or that new prospect, but also on how to keep yourself centered at the same time?
Yeah, it's being centered so very important, and it's mapping that list of goals and constantly reviewing them to making sure that you're staying on track. But sales is a long game, and it's important to make sure that you're checking in with your client on a regular basis and trusting your instincts. The bottom line is solving the customer's problem. That's why you're talking to them, and as long as you're focusing on solving the problem, and then that's what, is the most important thing.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of other tactics that we can, teach, but every sales example is different. But if you're really focused on, what the customer issue is and what you're hoping to achieve for them, and how you're hoping to make them feel emotionally, that's the focus.
Mhm. I think that's something can sometimes be one of the biggest challenges for us because we are dependent on that. Like Andrew says, that rapport is super important with the client to build that rapport and understand the value you're offering to that client. Because you're coming in service to that client, you're offering that value to them. And when you take yourself out of the picture on what you're to gain from it, then it becomes authentic with that client. Jim's putting in here the 80-20 rule is in every sales organization is very real. Yeah. So I'm just going to put that one up because that's a really great one. It is all about how we can help the clients at the end of the day. So if you have a passion for the product that you're selling, whether you're an individual coach like I am, or whether you're on a big team and you're working for a big organization, at the end of the day, that success comes from the clients understanding that they are valued within the organization and with whatever product is going to fit within their needs.
Well, you also said something key: service. If
Mhm.
you're approaching something from a service perspective or offering service, you're here. Then I think that's also going to emphasize or be
Mhm.
well received more from the client.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. And at the end of the day, oftentimes, I've seen salespeople, and I've probably done it myself from time to time, where it's more my perspective, and then you catch yourself like afterwards when you're thinking about it, that okay, this was more about me at this point as opposed to about them. So what could I do differently the next time? So don't beat yourself up.
No.
Because we can all go down that wrong path, and it's easy because we're excited about what we're marketing to, and oftentimes we forget to really listen to the client uh, and be able to hear what they're really looking for so that we can tailor the solution for them.
Yeah, and this is about coaching a particular rep, and that's the other thing a coach can do is that it's opening your mind to other possibilities. It's that's what I like to bring to the table is having the dialogue about what we're trying to accomplish
Mm-hmm.
team, because that's essentially if you sign up with me as a coach, you have a team. I'm going to get in the weeds with you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to, help put campaigns together or whatever. It's all about what, this particular rep needs, how they're looking to feel at the end of the process. What I want them to feel is I want what, Bill has. I've seen what Bill's gone through. I've heard what Bill has gone through and how he's gotten through the other side. And I want what he has going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so really what I'm hearing is not only are you talking to people that are facing those everyday challenges that we do in the sales organizations, because typically in sales, we're bottom line focused, right? And every month, every week, we have quotas, whatever it might be. We want to get the team to that number. And it takes everybody on that team, but individuals also have their quotas that they need to meet. So what about from a holistic growth perspective? How can we integrate that holistic approach into the sales profession and help them to have success so that it becomes a little bit more consistent for them and on an upwards, climb as opposed to the ups and downs that a lot of people experience.
Said it once before. Meditation is a big key in that in terms of clearing your brain, putting, like I said, saboteurs at bay. Just I think it's so important to have a clear head, and that's what I've learned. But from a holistic perspective, it's also about balance and exercise and eating right and all the things that we've read for years, but we don't tend to do. But I think what's happened over the past few years, it's really taken a big leap in terms of public perception of the importance of mental health, and reaching out to get help and knowing that you're not alone and that there are people that have experienced what you've experienced, and really just talking it through and not holding everything in. That's what got me into trouble, is that I felt like I was alone. And necessarily my authentic self all the time because I was scared. I want people not to be scared and realize that they're not alone, and they have somebody in the trenches with them.
Mm-hmm. And I think oftentimes, as I mentioned, I've been a coach in many organizations and a leader within many organizations. And I had quotas as well as the coach, right? I had different numbers that we would need to hit as an organization. But at the same time, a lot of what we did was working as a team together to get those results. And a lot of salespeople don't feel like they have the team within their organization that can support them personally. So this is where people like Bill come into play, because oftentimes the most successful people have sought out the coaching and the support that they need from every aspect within their business, as opposed to just the ones that are within their organization. So having experienced that, Bill, what are your thoughts on actually having an outside coach come in to coach somebody that's from outside of the organization, and what's the impact that someone can expect from that?
Tremendous. Wish I would have had that years ago. Someone that, and it doesn't matter like age or whatnot. It's about bringing a fresh perspective and with somebody that's had some success and willing to try new things and willing to try things with an open mind. I would have loved to have had that. That's why I was always seeking out mentors so much, and my mentors have done worlds for me, and I want to be able to offer that same thing to others, but more in a more structured format.
Mm-hmm.
But as I had said at the very beginning, every client has different needs, has a different skill set, and it's really working with them to map out what their goals are, short and long term, and hope and map out what they see success being like, both from a sales profession and a personal perspective, because they're really tied. And Sally, as you know, that they're all tied hand in hand.
But I find that the clients that I've worked with as well, and have worked with different clients over the years, is that it's made such a difference to have an outside set of eyes come in and look at their business practices and their business successes. Because even when I was in corporate, I found that having coached for years, there was a certain stop point and where we would stop coaching people. And it primarily came down to our mindset, right? And our inner feelings that we were having, because who wants to talk about their feelings? Someone would come in not so happy. I was going to say another word, not so happy because they lost a sale or something went wrong, or some other guy that was competition came in and took like those kinds of things happen. They happen all the time. But we weren't really in the corporate world designed to be able to handle those things that were into the more of emotional pieces and the inner workings. And so that's why I actually left my corporate career, because I knew there was something missing.
Yeah.
I knew there was something missing in the coaching that was happening in the corporations. Yet there's over $60 billion a year spent teaching people in corporations how to do the same things over and over again without that perspective. So this is why I'm so passionate about hiring people like Bill to be able to help in coaching people through the sales process, because there's a whole different dynamic in there. And one of the biggest things is our thought patterns. And so Bill's alluding to that, and how to get in control of your mindset, but also being able to bring in new strategies or seeing things beyond what you and your leaders and your mentors in your corporation are showing you. Because of the experience that Bill's had through many different companies, it makes a big difference to have experienced different things like that, but then also to be investing in yourself for coaching and knowing what that other coach sees in you that nobody else may have brought forward before, but this coach can, and help you to navigate through it in a way that's not tough, but it's a way that's going to help you to get the results and move forward and get that growth that you're looking for, and therefore that success.
Yeah, a coach is, as I envision a coach, and what I want to do is, bring out things in others that they didn't know was possible, or they don't have that vision because they can't see it. And I think I know I can do that and do that all the time. But one of the other things, Sally, I love doing, as you know, and you've said it multiple times, is promoting others. And that's also
Right.
part of the coaching program. It's just something I do.
Mhm.
I love promoting others a hell of a lot more than I like promoting myself. So I'm new to this process, but I think everybody that's on this call has gotten promoted in some way or fashion by me, or will in the near future. But I like seeing others succeed, seeing others happy. There's so many good people out there, and they really deserve to be celebrated. And I know several on this call, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, and Jim has another great comment here. I'll just pop up. Emerson said we need someone to make us do the things that we're capable of. And the other thing I always think about too is the possibility. We always need to look at what's possible, not what we believe is achievable, because we put our own barriers on. And oftentimes when we're working with a coach from outside, we're able to open up to see what else we're capable and possible of achieving, because we've got somebody else that can breathe life into us and give us that passion, help us to find that passion, that purpose, that joy, and pull that out of us to get us to move forward to a whole different level of production and success in our life. And then when we have that success in our career, what happens? Typically, our life at home and our personal life thrives as well, because we're feeling that success at the office. So
It's all about energy.
yep, it is about energy. And it's also about, what are we putting into our mind? Do we have a vision for where we want to be? If you're in an organization and there's a top salesperson and you're like, I want to be at that level, there's no way why you couldn't be at that level other than your own thoughts helping to prevent you from getting there. And then having a coach that's going to help you put the strategies in place to get there, as well as the mindset tools. And that to me is one of the biggest things that I've recognized over the last number of years, is how much mindset plays a part in the success of any individual. So do you want to share a little bit about your perspective on that?
Yeah, it's all about it's self-belief. It's knowing that, especially now with all the technology out there, that you can really do anything,
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's remarkable, especially all the advances that have happened in the 6 to 12 months. I'm basically starting a brand new career at age 54. I can say that for another 6 days. And it's thrilling. And, I'm doing multiple, jobs, I guess. And it's living the entrepreneurial life, and it's a lot of fun. But, as a coach, I want people to understand that the possibilities are endless. I've had really good mentors teach me that, what do you really want to do? Just think, what do you want to achieve? And try not to limit it. Maybe the boldest thoughts you have. I know you taught me that, and work backwards from there.
Mm-hmm. And I think, from that perspective, it's very difficult within an organization to be that one that's thinking outside of the box, thinking what is possible, because other people will be telling you that it's not. Yeah. Oh, you're crazy. You'll never be like that person.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would even do that. Where would you go? Where are you going to find those clients? Like, we've all heard it, right?
Also, the other thing, Sally, is when you do that internally with it's a trust issue. Yeah. I mean, do you really trust the people that you're working with? I know that's a kind of a tough thing to say, but there's a lot of politics that you have to navigate. And it's really best to go to an outside source for that type of thing. It's been there, done that.
A confidential source too.
Exactly.
Right. Someone that's not telling everybody at the
share your dirty laundry with, and not worry that it's going to get back within the company. That's not the pure focus of this coaching business, but it's certainly a part of it, and certainly I can speak to that experience with clients.
Well, and I think that's important, right? Because there's so anybody that might even be new in sales is going to go in with excitement, right? Yeah. Because they're sold on that excitement there, and they know that things are possible. But as we get into it, sometimes we'll have a lot of success and sometimes we'll have a lot of struggles. And it's understanding where we can go when we're having those struggles before those struggles get out of control.
And you just mentioned that person that's new to sales is not going to have the same issues that somebody has 5 or 10 or 15 years. And I was, it doesn't seem it was that long ago for me, but I remember that salesperson that was fresh out of school and was bold and was running up and down high rises in Seattle being chased by security. Can't do that anymore. But I still have that in me, and I can talk to the new reps about that as well as the seasoned codgers like myself.
Yeah. Well, I remember some salespeople, because we were using the corporate training, and they would be just afraid to pick up a phone, and they would stop showing up in the office. And they're supposedly out with clients. We knew they weren't, but they were so scared.
So why? And then that's what you figure out. Why? What is
exactly?
You pick up the phone all the time. You make a game out of it.
Yeah. But it takes some other people to help people to get through those things, because it can be very fear-filled. Because, I don't know about your careers, but there's always the 100 list of the people that right? For the salespeople that were working in the investment.
That's scary. That's honestly, to me, more, I've talked to one of my clients about that. That's scarier than talking to strangers, because you don't want to necessarily turn your friends off per se. There's also ways to, approaching it in that fashion as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where, when you mentioned that you're a connector, that's what I say. So Billy's always a connector, because he loves connecting people with other people. And I know that's how I met Andrew. Andrew and I, Andrew runs a podcast as well for human resources executives. And he was referred to me, and then I went on his podcast, and then I've referred a number of people back to him. And that's how you start to build your business, and those connections is just through people like that are willing to help other people to have success. And then success comes back to you as well. So that's just the reciprocal element that comes into it.
Yeah, connecting has been a true passion, and I didn't realize I'd honestly never really heard connector used until about 2 years ago. And I was like, heard that. I was like, kind of sounds like me a little bit. And I had a friend bring something up to me. She's like, Bill, you're essentially a promoter. I hope that doesn't bother you saying that. And I was like, really? And then I looked at my calendar, and I was like, oh, I do have a lot of calls that I'm trying to help somebody out. Yeah. So that was another, vision into what I wanted to, do on a full-time basis. But yeah, just people on this, like I see in the comments section, Annalise, she's written a book, and it's wonderful. I met her through this whole, connecting with others process. Yeah. Same with Jim. Found out he's a former Maine resident, and that's where I grew up going every summer. So
nice.
That's connecting others to, like-minded folks. So it's a blast.
Well, I think that's what, thank you, Andrew. I think it's part of what I really enjoy about LinkedIn is that most people are in a business of some sort, and they're willing to help other people to have success. And so just within this network called LinkedIn, we've all had the opportunity to connect with people that are just brilliant, and to meet people and help other people meet people that would be a great client for them, or someone that could support them in their business, or guide them to somebody that could. And for me, I think that's why I really love this platform a lot, is because of that. And it's definitely opened up my eyes to the way that people in business really do want to serve each other and help each other to have success. And so one last thing I'll just touch upon here is, as we're going through our 3-part series, so we've got 2 more that we're going to be doing. We're going to delve a little bit more into the empathetic support, the holistic approach, and our networking superpower over the next couple of weeks. So we're going to do a couple of different special ones like that, because we really want to dig into those things that are important to you. So if you're either watching this recording or listening to this, please pop in the chat what it is that you're interested in learning more about, or if you're wanting to go one-on-one, reach out to Bill or myself on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest place to reach us. And just ask us some questions about what you would like us to cover, because we want to make sure we're here to serve you and give you the information that you need as we go through the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's about you. It's not about us. I'm incredibly grateful for anybody that's taken the time to join us today, and
Mhm.
especially grateful for Sally and her support and friendship. But bottom line is, I'm here to help others. That's it. And it could be from a sales perspective, great. It could be from a life perspective. And I know there's a lot of others out there that, do similar things, but
Mhm.
I just appreciate the opportunity to help. And that's what this is all about.
So now how should people reach out to you, Bill?
So the best way really, as you said, could be LinkedIn, but my phone number, we can, put in the emails, 440-781-6544 for, texting or calling me. And it's Bill at riversedge.ai. And
Okay, so we'll put those in the chat afterwards so that people can reach out. But yeah, so Bill, are you doing one-on-one coaching, group coaching?
all the above.
All
So,
right.
but yeah, the best part or the best thing to do in that process is just have a quick call with me, get to know me, get to know you, and see if it's a
Mhm.
fit. Because and if it's not, I am have many people I can refer you to, and we could, just start a conversation. But like I said, if it's a business relationship, great. If it's not, I'm here to help you regardless.
Mhm. Well, I think the biggest thing is when you're meeting with people one-on-one, you start to learn about what specifically they'll be looking for as far as that support and whether you're able to offer that to them or
Yeah,
not.
one size
And
doesn't fit all.
that's why I always say it's never a risk to reach out to somebody about their services to see if it might be the right time, might be the right fit, might be the thing that you've been waiting for but didn't know was there.
Obviously an NDA and everything's confidential as well. But I would love to hear from any of you.
Awesome. And Inley, maybe in the comments as well, you can put in when the recording's done, put in what your book is so that, and put a link to your book so that we can all go in and take advantage of seeing that as well. And Andrew, you want to put a link in for your podcast, please do. And Jim, I'm not sure, you must have links for a few things. Feel free, put them in the chat because this is about a community. This is building a community around Bill and his organization. So absolutely, if you have anybody that you think might be interested in finding out more about that or about Bill and what he's offering in his safe harbor coaching, please reach out and absolutely connect and share the next couple ones that we have, or you can even, these ones are recorded, so they will be recorded, and you can take that as well and ask Bill for the recording, and he'll make sure that you have that to forward to a friend, or he can forward it for you. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you, Bill, for a wonderful conversation. I really appreciate that. Ooh, critical access consciousness. Oh, I'm going to have to get that one.
It's a good one.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's brilliant. A friend of mine's actually reading it right now. So
Perfect. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody.
thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks
Bill.
so much.
I can